thanks to Gary Sass, the money man, coming in and talking about the new poll released today by Bryant University's Hassenfeld Institute, focused in on education and how people perceive, one, the governor's proposal to put $250 million bond issue out in front of the voters this November, which did get a green light according to this poll. Also, other perceptions about the quality of education, what their expectations are. Also want to thank our friends over at Deepwater Wind for all their support. I want to introduce Megan Decker.
Hi.
Ad Guru. She's been on before, but this is a little more formal program that we're going to be doing once a month together.
Excited to be a part of it. So thanks for having me.
So Megan, if you saw her before, know that Rhode Island native, but went off to New York and worked in big ad agencies, and also in Connecticut, worked on big accounts, and now is back as the CEO, President and Chief Operating Officer.
Yep, President and COO. We have to let Dave have his spot as CEO, but we do work in partnership.
Right,
so.
in G Media. And a little bit different type of ad agency, a little different approach, very hands-on.
For sure.
And a lot of event-driven, experiential type of marketing as part of the mix of what you do for clients.
Yeah, I think it's been, a nice, interesting transition. So, to my New York background, which is where I spent most of my career till coming on board here, a lot of branding and activation. And with G Media, we have some real great anchor clients that we have, a huge piece of engagement marketing that we do with them, which is so important to, really, touch the consumers that you're working with. But we're doing we have a lot of fun efforts and practices going on. We have a local and national media buying arm that we have through Icon, which is great. And we're doing some really interesting, fun stuff. So I think it's going to be a very interesting 2018, not just for us, but for everybody, from the client side to advertisers and agencies.
So I think everybody in the world of advertising, I don't know, we have 50 or 60 advertisers at GoLocal, are all looking for, this is a much more complicated experience for people who are running companies. It used to be in the good old days, you bought some TV and you bought some print, and you dropped some direct mail, and you're kind of done.
Yeah, you
went to a trade show for the B2B.
Yeah, you invested your media.
Yeah.
And you figured 50% will work, and once it was done, you didn't know what 50% worked, but you were happy.
Right, that's right. And now the average business gets about 40 calls a week with solicitations from everybody from Groupons to social media firms, and they're all trying to figure it out. And obviously, this device, the little mobile device that everybody picks up on average 140 times plus per day, is just a mammoth X factor as to where people are spending their time and energy. Sure. Talk a little bit about, you work with big brands, national brands, and you work with small Rhode Island companies that are looking to be the next big brand. Talk about strategies and how you look at and try and get messages to phones, ultimately.
Absolutely. I mean, I think what's huge is whatever side of the space you're on, whether you're the advertiser, the client, we have to remember, crap, it's 2018, right?
Yeah,
We're getting old, and now Generation Z is coming into the workplace.
Right.
Like, they now have the buying power, they're making the decisions, so we have to shift with them, but we also have to be cognizant of our other groups, right? So it's really, I don't think there's no one fit solution. If there was, or there was a person that knew of it, I would be hiring them right now.
Yeah,
if you know who they are, let me know.
Yeah.
But it's a mix, right? So we need to be engaging with our consumers live, touch points through engagement marketing, activations, but there's also the media component, and it's that balance of, okay, how am I interacting with them in the digital space? So in being cognizant of this new generation that we have to keep in mind, I mean, we're looking at a generation where they are looking at Snapchat and Instagram for at least an hour a day.
Right.
81% of them. And then you have your millennials who are in that space too, but it's just pushing more and more video content.
Yeah.
So all of the things that I think are key important is nobody wants to look at a website anymore. They want content, they want to see video, And they want to hear from not just the brand, but influencers.
Yeah.
Especially with, the generations that we're now looking at that are going to be making these decisions. So big on digital, big on video content, and figuring out this programmatic animal.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your thoughts on that one?
So programmatic is this way that you buy digital ads, sort of almost in a bidding structure. We don't subscribe to it. We don't take any programmatic ads. We don't take any ad networks. In my previous life in ad business, I don't know. I always liked high quality custom. I always wanted to be exactly what GoLocal does around content that's relevant. If you're talking to people and trying to sell them jewelry, put it in a component and in a structure that's like that. So the more contextual, I think the better. I also think that there's be careful what you wish for. You may win the battle but lose the war, which is I think some media companies are getting crushed because of programmatic.
They are.
And you're not going to have any high quality media left to be able to be contextual in a lot of places. I mean, we don't need to talk about newspapers or radio to talk about that. I think there's what I find most exciting right now in what we do for some of the advertisers we have is because of social media, you can create whole structures and then push it at exactly who you want to talk to. I mean, you can talk to left-handed people in Cranston, Rhode Island, who went to Cranston East but not Cranston West. It may cost a little bit, but it's 100 times cheaper than trying to figure it out and build a direct mail strategy for those folks.
No, absolutely. And I think for me, I think the programmatic scenario is something that everyone's trying to crack the nut, right? From your larger agencies to your small local. And I think there's some great opportunities in that space. First is I think, 2010 on, everyone thought programmatic was going to be the strategy.
Yeah, right.
We don't need an agency. We can start bringing them in-house. And some clients and companies are bringing it in-house, and it's working.
Yeah.
And for some, it's not. What I think is some great opportunity where I'm excited to be back in Rhode Island is there's a huge space in this area for the local companies. Right? So you're building your profiles and your segmentations from these large agencies and companies. Who's touching that secondary audience?
Yeah.
And
that middle market company, that successful, maybe they're doing $10 million in sales or $100 million in sales. And big agencies in Boston don't really want to touch them.
Yeah.
And a lot of the mid-size agencies don't exist anymore. Those agencies with 30 to 50 people, there used to be 100 of agencies that size in New England, and now they're gone. Can people live by digital alone?
I think some would like to.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a safe place to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can, and I think there's a lot of companies, some big companies that we can call out.
Right, we don't see a lot of Amazon billboards.
No, you can, but I think the tides will shift, and you'll get hurt by it. It's kind of the same way that I look at programmatic and bringing it in-house and getting rid of your agency. There's going to be a point where you realize, okay, do we have the right strategy behind this? There is something to be said for a person versus just that trading desk.
So let's talk about the last issue, and then we'll let you go back to growing this agency and living the dream. Facebook has made a tremendous number of algorithm changes over the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and it's shaken up a lot of people. And about 80% of Rhode Islanders go onto Facebook on a regular basis. They're seeing a very different experience in their news feed. What's that doing to folks besides freaking out a lot of companies that were making a lot of sales on Facebook?
Well, I think it's something obviously duly should be freaked out a little bit.
Yeah.
They're losing organic growth opportunities.
Right.
But again, I think you get your minute to freak out or your 2 days, and then it's kind of back to what I said from the get-go is we have to shift. We have to constantly be thinking ahead and moving forward in everything we're doing, and that also means shifting with the industry and who we're marketing to. And that is a segment that wants to hear from influencers, not from the brand directly.
So isn't that though just a failure of a realization? There's a little bit of our take is that listen, it's Facebook's sandbox. I mean, they built it, they own it, they can change the rules
Sure.
whenever they want. They're wildly successful, arguably the most successful media company maybe ever. And don't folks need to anticipate that they're going to constantly see changes when Facebook wants to do something different and create a new relationship?
Yeah, I think you have to be prepared for that. You know, Zuckerberg said this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna take the hit on it. But I think we'll also see that shift happen. That people will just shift with those times and work through influence marketing more, and not trying to push so much. You're now gonna see more pictures of my twins than you will see.
I'm going to see more pictures of your twins. And what's the hashtag you always put?
The twins are winning.
The twins are
You'll
winning.
just see more content from Megan Decker than you will of any advertisements. You should be excited about this.
I have seen the pictures of your twins in my Facebook feed, and you'll see more of Bear, our chocolate lab, who is a regular favorite within the Rhode Island Facebook ecosystem.
They're going to be our new marketing tools.
I want to thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You're going to be on every month.
Yes, I'm excited for it.
We're really excited about it. And folks out there, if you've got a question, feel free to email it into news@GoLocalProv, and we'll work it in and see if we can get you an answer on it and have some discussion on it, or put it up on Facebook, on the Facebook Live posting as well. Megan Decker, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back in just 1 second with Saul Kaplan from Business Innovation Factory.